Hey, scholars, wanted to take this time today. We're very fortunate to have with us the transfer enrollment specialist from Kent State, Mr. Jonathan Gates. Jonathan has worked and presented to our students in the past to much success. So we wanted to bring him back and ideally every semester. But Jonathan, do your thing. Let us know about all the great opportunities that Kent State has for EGCC graduates.
Thanks, Derek. And thanks for having me today. So like you heard, my name is Jonathan Gates. I am a transfer enrollment specialist here at Kent State University. I specifically work with transfer students from Eastern Gateway. So if you do have any questions, even past today, feel free to let me know. I will have my contact information here towards the end of the presentation. If you want to write that down or take a photo of it or whatever you need to do. So Kent State is in Kent, Ohio. So right in there in Northeast Ohio, about 45 minutes from Cleveland. We're not too far from the Eastern Gateway's physical campus in Youngstown, but we also aren't terribly far from the Steubenville campus either. We have this nice little downtown. It is a small college town, but we are a large university within that college town. All over Northeast Ohio, we service about 36,000 students across our 8 campuses. So the Kent campus is by far the largest campus with over 22,000 undergraduate students, but we do service many more across Northeast Ohio. We are also a first tier on the Best National Universities list by US News and World Report. So we're the only institution in Northern Ohio to place on this list, so we're pretty proud of that. And that is for quite a few reasons, but we have to think that the largest reason would be our academic programs. So we have 10 degree granting academic colleges and a couple non-degree granting colleges. So we'll just go over each one just a little bit. So our College of Aeronautics and Engineering. So all of our aeronautics programs from professional pilot to air traffic control, all is housed within this college. We have the largest collegiate fleet of aircraft of any college in the state of Ohio, and a top 5 in the nation. So if you want to become a pilot or work at an airport in any capacity, we are a great place to go. The college is also ABET accredited. So all of our engineering programs and engineering technology programs have that gold stamp of approval from the ABET accreditation. Our College of Architecture and Environmental Design houses 3 majors, our architecture, our interior design, and construction management majors. So if you wanted to do anything with designing or creating buildings, this is a great place to go as well. Our College of the Arts is where our top 5 fashion programs, so fashion merchandising and fashion design, is located. We're the only public institution even close to the top of that list. So, tuition wise, we're going to be pretty affordable compared to the rest. But this college also houses our theater, our music, and our dance performance majors, which are also all quite large. Our College of Arts and Sciences is our largest college on campus. It houses more programs than any other college on our campus. So if you wanted to do anything on liberal arts, humanities, basic sciences wise, this would be where you go. Our College of Business Administration is AACSB accredited. About 5% of colleges around the world have this accreditation. So it is, again, when we're talking about gold stamps of approval on our academic programs, we are going to be, that puts us near the top of the list. And we are one of the only AACSB accredited programs that actually has a fully online business program, which we will get into later when we talk about degree pathways. Our College of Communication and Information. So this is where our communication studies degree is. Our long-standing, pretty well-known journalism program is we have also our visual communication design program here, which is pretty similar to what someone else might call a graphic design degree. In our photography. So anything when it comes to digital communication or traditional communication, radio, TV, is all going to be housed within this program, and the communication studies degree is offered completely online. So our College of Education, Health and Human Services, we were founded as a teaching college way back in 1910. So it is our longest standing program. It's the largest in Northeast Ohio by far. We do create quite a few teachers up here. Any health program that you can really think of that's not nursing or like public health would also be in this college. So like exercise science, sports medicine, dietetics, anything of that nature is also going to be in this college. Our College of Nursing, they do one program. It is nursing. So we are the largest producer of nurses in the state by far. So about 450 new nurses in Ohio every single year come out of Kent State. So it comes to be about 25% of all nurses working in the state of Ohio right now are alum, and about 40% of them in Northeast Ohio. Our College of Public Health is our newest college, even though it's like 11 years old now. It's still our newest because we haven't had a new one yet. But all their programs are offered in person and online, and anymore with the pandemic. I mean, it's pretty much on the forefront of everyone's mind all the time. The University College is going to be where our exploratory program is. So if you are a student that doesn't quite know the program or career path that you want to go on long term, this is where you would start. About 85% of the students that find a major through the exploratory program end up graduating at Kent State in that program. So instead of switching your major a couple of times while you're in school, generally those students will hone in and they know exactly what they want to do. And we have one of the oldest honors colleges in the United States, so it is pretty well renowned. It is to capacity every single year. Hundreds of honors students are going to be in this program. It's a great accolade to put on your resume long term. The one thing that each of these programs have in common is what we call our Kent Core. So a different college might call this the general education, curriculum, if you want to call it that. It's totally fine. But it does touch on each of these different sections that I have on this web page or on this slide. So you're going to learn how to write, you're going to learn how to read. You already knew how to do that, but they're going to deep dive into some of these different things on here. Some programs are going to have these baked in, some that you're going to have to, you get to choose from a list, but each program is going to touch on these. We do that for a big reason. That is ultimately employers are going to be looking for these. So you will learn specific skills in your program. So if you're going into engineering, you're going to learn how to be an engineer. But the employers do want you to kind of have those, they were traditionally called like soft skills, but good communication, global perspective, you're able to think critically by yourself or as part of a team, and you're leaders. So we do have our, we have Handshake, which is an electronic job board here on campus. And we have employers that are constantly posting jobs onto that website looking for Kent State students because they do hit on these different things. We also have, as a part of each of our programs on campus, an experiential learning component. So this isn't something that you have to go out of your way to do, but it might be an internship that you do, or it's some sort of service learning or research. We do have the largest education abroad or study abroad program in Northern Ohio. So if you did want to spend some time elsewhere as still completing a part of your degree, that also counts as this credit. And just to name a few of the places we do have, I think it's 88 different places around the world that our students can go. The four at the top kind of highlighted in blue are going to be destinations that literally we have a Kent State building or group of buildings. So essentially many campuses, but some of the ones listed in white, many more, we do have partnerships with universities around the world. So again, you can take classes towards your degree, not skip a beat, but get to spend your semester somewhere else. As part of the transfer process, so you're going to, the big question is transferring credit. So a few things that we can do for you is that we can set you up with a pre-advising appointment with a transfer enrollment specialist. So most specifically with me in this case, we can go through your credits unofficially, but when you get admitted, we will also do what's called an official credit evaluation, get that posted to your account, and that is what your degree audit will be based off of. So anything that you earn at Eastern Gateway, or if you have some credit from a regionally accredited institution that you attended in the past, anything that you earned at a D or higher will transfer to Kent State. I will just throw caution a little bit to that. We will accept it all, but we do want to make sure that those courses apply to your program. So like we were talking about engineering earlier. If you took some engineering classes and then switched your major to nursing, they don't necessarily apply to a science or a health class in that capacity. So if you do have questions about the applicability of your credits, just reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. We also have plenty of different student resources that keep students on track. So whether this be in person or online, these services can be used by all students. We do like to highlight, of course, our Career Exploration and Development Office as well. So another university might call this career services, but we call it something a little bit different because they aren't here just to, for you to explore. We do want you to develop your skills and hone in on your degree path and your eventual career. So they do a couple of things that, every career service office does. They do the mock interviews, they have resume assistants, but they also have a couple of things that we don't find at a lot of places. Like they do have a career closet. So if you need to borrow some clothes for an interview, you can do that free of charge. And then, like I said earlier, there is Handshake. So any jobs that you want to, or internships that you want during college or while you're still a student, you can do that through Handshake. But also they help you find your first job after graduation. If you need assistance via our specialist here, they're here to help. But also, those full-time jobs are posted on Handshake as well. So you're able to go on there and apply. This might not apply to everyone. If you're a transfer student coming in with an associate's degree, or you're just any transfer student coming into an online program, you of course do not have to stay on campus. But if you are transferring in person before you hit that junior status, you will have to live on campus if you don't live within 50 miles of Kent. But we do have 24 residence halls on campus. It is a very safe campus. We are consistently rated as the safest campus over 15,000 students in Ohio, so D1 status. And there are 20 plus places to eat on campus as well. That makes the whole experience a good one. We also have 400 plus student organizations, and there's stuff happening all of the time. So whether you're a student in person or online, you are able to get involved in, some of our student organizations are academic, some are just for fun. For example, a good one for online students is our esports program, because there is a Discord server for almost every game imaginable or game type. So you get on there, you play with different Kent State students, and depending on what you like to play, you just have to find other people that also like to play the same game as you. We do have some organizations that are transfer student specific. So the biggest one would be our Transfer Advisory Council. So if you had a good transfer experience and you want to give back, that's a great way to do so. Our Tau Sigma National Honor Society is a big one that students do as well. So if you are a member of Phi Theta Kappa, this is usually a pretty good step up. It's just an honor society for transfer students. And then a lot of our students are off campus or commuters. So there's a student organization for them as well. Like I said earlier, we are D1. So we compete, I should say, in the Mid-American Conference of the MAC. We have 19 Division I teams, and our mascot is Flash the Golden Eagle. If you are especially if you're from Northeast Ohio, you might think like, wait, I thought it was the black squirrel. So the black squirrel technically is our unofficial mascot. So you'll see the squirrel on t-shirts and other things, but Flash the Golden Eagle is technically our unofficial mascot. So, onto the business a little bit. So to become a student at Kent State is a fairly simple process. We would ask first that you apply on our website, so kent.edu/apply, or if you Google Kent State apply, whatever, it's going to get you there. As a transfer student, we would need you to submit a $50 application fee with your application. If you are in need of a NACAC fee waiver, we do accept those, so just let me know, I'll send that along. And then we would need a college transcript from each institution that you've attended. So if you've just attended Eastern Gateway, then we will just need an official EGCC transcript. If you've attended multiple institutions, we will need one from each. And then if you are in your first semester and you have not quite completed 12 credit hours, we would also need a copy of your high school transcript. But as long as you have those 12, then we will not need that. So our tuition for in-state students this year was just under $12,000. So, if you don't need to stay on campus, that root and board does not apply to you. But if it does, that was just over the 12,000 mark, just for a total over the 24,000 mark. If you are an out-of-state student, the tuition is a bit higher, so you're just over $20,000. Room and board is the same, so the grand total, if you need to stay on campus, would be just over $33,000. and that is before financial aid kicks in. So anything that you are, awarded through the federal government, Pell Grants, Stafford loans, after you complete the FAFSA and get that sent over, all of that applies to your Kent State account. You don't have to worry about those not counting. And then for transfer students, we do have some merit-based scholarships. So the Academic Transfer Award is for Ohio residents that have not completed an associate's degree yet. So that is merit-based. So anything starting at a 2.5 and up, it can scale from $1,000 to $2,500 a year. The President's Transfer Award is for out-of-state students. So out-of-state students do get hit with that out-of-state surcharge, unfortunately. So we have the scholarship in place to kind of offset that cost as best we can. So it is also merit-based, starts at a 2.5 and scales upward. You can earn anything from $5,000 to $6,500 on that. The Flash Northeast Ohio Scholarship is just for in-state students as well. But if you're transferring straight from EGCC to Kent State with an associate's degree and have a 2.5 or higher, you will automatically be considered for that scholarship of $2,500. We also have the Phi Theta Kappa Scholarship. So some students every year, if you apply and you're a part of Phi Theta Kappa at EGCC, you can apply for this, and a few students will then get a non-renewable $1,000 scholarship. And I should preface, the three that I started off with are all renewable, so they would count for more than 1 year. We do have plenty of other scholarships on campus, though. So that is all routed through our University Scholarships Office. We have plenty of them that are offered through the department. So we have a search on our website that students can poke through, and you just put in your information, like your major and your GPA and such. It'll pop out all the all of the scholarships that you can potentially apply for. It also, they have an external scholarship search. So anything, I should say, we have vetted a few external scholarship searches. So ones like through the College Board, I'll use them as an example. You can click on that and look through it, and anything that you think that you can qualify for off of that, we will gladly accept as well. And just as a note, if you have some more time at EGCC and you want to use that external scholarship search, it's not money awarded through Kent State, so you can also get that sent over to Eastern Gateway. And then when it comes time to transfer to Kent State, then you can do the same for us. As part of the onboarding experience, so we have what's called Transfer Kent State. We call it TKS for short. It is our transfer orientation program. It is not like a huge, like in-person ordeal. You will, though, meet with the big thing is that you'll meet with your academic advisor. You'll go over your transfer credits. You'll schedule for your next semester. You'll go over some more things as well. So it's a great way to get acclimated to campus. Like, we know you know how to be a college student, but we need to get you caught up to speed on the Kent State side of things. I did preface these pathway programs earlier, so I did want to talk about this a bit more. So if you wanted to look into any of these pathway programs more in depth, you can just scan the QR code here, or if you just Google like Kent State degree pathways, it's going to be the first thing that pops up. So a pathway program, by and large, is going to be set up that you can do 2 or more years at Eastern Gateway and then finish out your degree here at Kent State. So I divided them on this slide to make it easier, but the top, a little bit more than half of the pathways are going to be able to be completed in person or online. So I know that a lot of Eastern Gateway students will, not want to move to Kent, Ohio. That's completely okay. If you do want to complete one of these programs towards the top of the list, then you can do all of those online, even if you did the first half of them in person. So a good example of that would be like respiratory care or radiologic technology. Those are 2 very specific in-person programs that you would do at Eastern Gateway that you can complete your bachelor's degree online with us. So you don't have to worry. I actually see that I left nursing off of this as well. So we do have an RN to BSN program set up with Eastern Gateway. So if you wanted to complete your nursing degree, you can do that as well. So the ones at the bottom are going to be in-person programs specifically here at Kent State. So if you would like to complete one of those 4 programs, a move to Kent or one of the regional campuses would likely be involved. just to throw out, like I said earlier as well, so we are one of the few AACSB accredited College of Businesses that have a fully online program. So we like to use that for our community college partners. So our general business program is a great way to get a fully accredited AACSB accredited, that's a mouthful, business program completely online. So students can complete about 5 semesters at Eastern Gateway and do 3 with us to complete that degree pretty easily. So that is a great opportunity. Just to recap, the next steps to get you enrolled here after applying is to get those transcripts in. We'll do the transfer credit evaluation. You likely won't have to take a placement exam if you have enough transfer credit coming in. If you come in with less than a certain amount of credits, sometimes placement exams involved, but not usually. And then Transfer Kent State is going to be your next big step to get enrolled and meet with your advisor. I go through a ton in these presentations, but obviously that doesn't encapsulate the entire campus. So if you do want to see what our students and our faculty are up to, I would recommend following us on one of our socials. All of them are going to be down below, or if you get on those apps and just search Kent State generally, they will pop right up. And like I said earlier, my name is Jonathan Gates. I am the transfer enrollment specialist here at Kent State. My email is jgates19@kent.edu. So if you have any questions past today, feel free to let me know. I am more than happy to talk about those degree pathways or anything else that you would like to talk about. That's all I have.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank Jonathan again for taking the time to speak with our students, both here and the ones that will watch this on Canvas later on. I know now that we are going through our top program, many of our students are looking at different opportunities for transferring. So don't feel like you have to just ask us. You can reach out to Jonathan. I've had nothing but positive interactions with Jonathan, and I'm sure all the students will too. We want to thank Jonathan again, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.